Dufresne Chacon, and I represent Finding Our Voices. Like, our mission is FOV empowers survivors of sexual assault to thrive by offering creative activities and healing events while advocating in our community. In other words, our healing is through art, but all different kinds of art forms. So you'll see that I have pictures of some of the things that we've done, hopefully that you guys will be able to see. But it's just not painting, it's all just different kinds of art forms. So it's really cool that you can create differently every time. The workshops are different. Joyce Aubrey is the founder of Finding Our Voices, and she started it back in, I say 2008, because that's when she had her first art show showing all her pieces through her healing. And but she became a 501(c)(3) in 2009. And our history is that we have events and art workshops. You know, we want to be a part of the community, so we try and join in whatever events that they are having to be a part of that also, so that we can make sexual assault survivors aware of the healing power of art. It is so much more immense than going through just therapy. And that's our biggest focus. Anybody 18 years and older that were sexually assaulted. We grab anybody that needs our help. The biggest part that we have a hard time getting is the LGBTQ community, if I said that right. and ethnic backgrounds. Men especially are terrified to come forward. I have a couple of friends personally that are male survivors. There's no way in heck they're going to come forward because they know they're mostly women that come. We tend to be a little bit stronger, a little bit. It's still hard for us to get there, but for men it's a lot worse because their sexual assaults start when they're very, very young, and they just don't want to deal with it. Well, this year we accomplished through legislation, I believe, that now there is no, how do you say this again? This is the one that I'm really excited about. We eliminated the statute of limitations for sexual assault, and I believe it's for children only. I'm not quite sure about that. I'm still trying to check that up with Joyce because it was her and Monica Holcomb and a couple of people that came and went and talked. So we got that passed here in Colorado, which we are very excited about. Along with, institutions are going to be held accountable if they are aware of sexual assault happening on their campuses. And that's a great victory for the colleges and the university. It's wonderful. So the one that I love the most and that really got me going was the monthly art workshops. I personally was terrified to do it because I hated art. I was horrible in it. Well, I was horrible at school anyway because of everything going on in my life. But I just thought, I can't do this. This is art. I can't even draw a heart. No, Joyce, this is going to be really bad. But the amazing thing about those art workshops is when I first started, all my stuff was really dark and black and brown, and I just wasn't paying any attention. It was just more anger type thing. And as I look at the years going through, and I have some of them hanging on my wall in my house, so I'm proud of them, and I have pictures of that too. Through the years, I have noticed how much I've transformed that, and now everything in my house is bright, full of color. And just to know that art did that for me, it made me speak when I couldn't. And now it speaks at me in my house every day when I look at it, and I'm so proud of where I was when I first started and where I am now. So I owe my life to Finding Our Voices. So the workshops are important. Then we have an art show in April at Cottonwood. And then we have weekly writing groups, one in the morning on Wednesdays and then one in the Sunday afternoon. And they're facilitated by 2 different people. And we can give you that information for that. We have a Yarnsters, that's brand new. Just a bunch of women get together. They bring their yarn, they can crochet or not, or just sit there and talk. But it's just getting us together and getting to know each other and talking and feeling good and comfortable with each other because we all have gone through the same kind of thing. So it's really good to be around people that get you. So the Yarnsterns is great. We just started doing the Denim Day fashion show. We did it at Pikes Peak, the Pioneer Museum this past year, and it was so much fun watching those women go down the aisle, doing their little shimmy shimmy with their jeans on, saying, hey, you still have no right. So that was just an amazing event. And then we have our annual retreat. It's a 2-day retreat, and usually we have it at El Tesoro. And we love it up there, and they're wonderful to us up there. And that retreat is very transforming. That's where it started for me. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. So I fight hard to get those retreats going. We are donations only and grants, and all of us are volunteers that help put everything together. So it's real important that we get donations, and in our website we have a PayPal account that you can put like $5 or $10 monthly. That helps us tremendously to give the girls this wonderful 2-day retreat to feel good about themselves, since we hardly ever do, but it's all focused on us and our spirits and our souls. So it's just wonderful. And now we're going to have a new Artscapes, and that's going to be a 2-day art workshop, 4 months. And then that, I don't know, is up here? Yeah, it's right here. So that will be quarterly, and this is what the dates are. And it's going to be very, very transforming and for everybody. It's great. I do have another one that's coming soon, but that's kind of coming soon. So I guess we can do that part in the coming soon area.
You can do it right now.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, so we're ready to go again?
Yep.
Okay, so we're also we used to have a support group, but we decided to change it into a listening group. We thought that would be better. It'd be like a monthly thing that we can do, and everybody can get together and talk about their healing process through their sexual assault. And I think that's a good thing, because when I tell people about my healing process, and I tell them how bad I used to be compared to what I am now, they can't believe it. It's like, because it's night and day. It is just night and day. So it's kind of cool to hear successful stories, so that you know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There really is. Our artist in residence, her name is Dale Mueller. Amazing woman. I love her to death. She was part of our retreat this past year and did that beautiful quilt here, had us do that. It was just wonderful. But she is a brilliant, brilliant artist, and she offers her services for free if you call her, and she can make a schedule with you and do a special art project with you, whatever you would like. That's how amazing she is. So we really need to use her, because she's wonderful. She really is. So I guess you would just contact Finding Our Voices, in our email, and then we would give you the person that you would get in touch to do that. Oh, Pikes Peak Leadership, it was one of the biggest people we partner with. We love the WCLI. I went through that course. It was so transforming for me. Finding Our Voices put me through that course. I'm so grateful for them. We do some things with Tessa every once in a while. We're trying to do a lot more with the community. That's what we look forward to in our future. Our name needs to get out more, so that they know we're here for them. We would love to help anybody that has a foundation or anything that needs our help with whatever it is with sexual assault. Whether it's military, the colleges. I want to get out there and talk more about what art does for healing, and what our organization can do to help you with that healing. That is the purpose of being with UCCS. We know in the colleges it's horrific. And the girls, I would like to go and speak to different places to explain more how to protect yourself, how to be more aware. What I learned through Finding Our Voices, how to get out of your triggers, how to learn to get out of when you PTSD, when you go through all those things that you go through. I would never have known any of those things if I didn't join Finding Our Voices, because we do have therapists a lot through some of our workshops, and they talk about a lot of these things. I thought I was just plain crazy. I had no idea I was triggering or even heard that word before. So that was amazing. Here I am, 55 years old, and this is the first time I heard trigger. And of course, you think only military go through all this PTSD, but it's not. It's anybody goes through any kind of trauma. And as we know, this trauma is immense. It takes your soul away. So you just got to get that back. And you got to fight it. And you got to win. You have to be the winner. So that's what we want to do. We want to get more out into the community because they don't know about us very much. I've gotten very close to a lot of the women here in our group, and because of that, we are open to each other. The girl that brought me to Finding Our Voices had an amazing, Christy Rosas. She just was amazing. She was beat to a pulp, raped many times in the Black Forest. I believe it was the Black Forest. But she was horrible. They left her for dead, and she had very bad damage in her mouth. And Joyce, in Finding Our Voices, found many dentists and doctors, over $20,000 of work they did for her to fix all of that, all the surgeries she had to do, and they saved her. And she had gone to a garage sale I was having, and for some reason she just started talking to me and telling me her story. I guess she felt comfortable with me and told me about Joyce. And when she told me about Joyce, I called her and said, I'd like to volunteer. I want to see what I can do for these women. I want to help them. Never telling her I was a survivor myself, but she figured it out on her own. And that's when she offered to give me the retreat since I helped her. And it was a blessing because, like I said, from that point on, I joined with them. I've been on and off her board for now the 7 years. I will never leave them, ever. I will work my hardest to make sure that they stay functioning because that's how important. They saved my life. They saved Christy's life. I have a best friend. They saved her life. She talks about how different she is now since Finding Our Voices. You can just talk to any of these, go to Youngsters. You'll see these women and how grateful they are for Finding Our Voices and helping them have a happier, normal feeling life that we always search for, don't we? We're always like, oh, I'm not normal because of the way I think and the way I work and the way but we are. We are. So everybody's normal. And we just have to learn that. But so many success stories with FOV. I mean, I can just go on and on with these girls. And just seeing them change through the years has been a lot of fun. And like I said, watch them at the Denim Day and how powerful they feel when they're walking down there with their jeans on. I believe it was an Italian girl who was trying to, take her accuser to court. And the judge threw it out because he found out she was wearing jeans, and he felt that there was no way that he could possibly attack you with you wearing jeans. And it caused an uproar in a lot of different countries. It got out. So now it's National Denim Day. And we go there and do fashion shows, or I don't know what all the other people do, but there's a lot of organizations that do celebrate it, just to show these people that you need to think twice about what you're saying. So the judge had to turn that conviction, and they won. And it was because we spoke. Find our voice. We have to. It can't stop, because this is never going to stop. But we have to be more powerful and try and help prevent it from happening. Denim Day usually happens in May or April. I believe April. So we're also going to do our art show and our Denim Day in April. We haven't gotten a place quite yet, but we're working on it. Oh gosh, we need volunteers because our board does everything. So sometimes we get extended real thin with all the hours that we put in with all the volunteer stuff that we have to do for all the programs that we have. So having volunteers to help us with these programs, setting up, looking for food and stuff for the retreat, therapists to do the retreats, finding grant writers, fundraisers, people to help us with fundraising, more fundraising. God, they can just help us with all kinds of things. Setting up our workshops. We're going to need people to help set up these workshops at UCCS. Just being a volunteer, because I knew this coming into volunteering. it just makes you feel so good that you're part of the community and seeing how great this community is in Colorado. I mean, I'm from Los Angeles. I had no idea that communities were like this. I mean, I am so grateful that I moved here over 30 years ago. I mean, I grew up in California for 33 years, and then I've now been here for over 30 years. So I love it here, and the community is great here, and being a part and volunteering in a nonprofit is so rewarding, and you meet so many different people and amazing people in the community. I mean, with the WCLI, to meet a lieutenant in the fire department, a female, was just amazing. So we gotta do more in the community, and I think the young people, you guys gotta volunteer. You'll see how rewarding it is, and the women, the survivors, would be really grateful because we really need the help. Get more involved with the community. We want to be more involved with foundations. You know, we want to help them. We want them to help us. You know, the camaraderie would be just wonderful. So to get our name out there so that we can do that for everybody would be amazing. We know that I mean, I go around in my Grubhub and I talk about finding our voices to people. I just do. I mean, it's important to me that people know it's out there. And when I do, you'd be amazed how many times I hear, I'm a survivor. Or my friend or my sister is a survivor. Oh, what's the name of your place? And it's amazing to know how many people really are. So to get out there, talk about us more so that we can get more survivors help. You know, we want to increase our presence to the community greatly. We want community conversations on healing mind, body, and soul. How important that is. How important art is for healing, dancing, any kind of art like that, gratitude, how healing all that is. That's what we look forward to in the future, because once you have that, it becomes a domino effect. And then we can just get out there and just make this world a better place, because we just have to keep fighting, just like everybody else. Now, Joyce is going to be doing her art show. I do have to mention this. Cottonwood is so amazing to us. And Cottonwood is allowing us to actually show our art for 2 months in a row. All of March, Joyce is going to show all of her 25 to 30 pictures of her healing. When you see that, that is kind of going to open up the doors to then, in the month of April, all of our survivor and our allies will have their artwork up in the hallways of Cottonwood. And then you will see what it does for us. I mean, the artwork is so beautiful. I've bought a few of theirs. They're in my home. I show them. People know this. I have one room it's a new living room that I moved into. It's all of FOV artwork. I put bins and cupboards and everything of art. So now my family gets involved with art with us. We all do our healing together at home. That's what FOV taught me to do. So those things are important. And the big, big, big main important thing that I just want to let sexual assault survivors know is you can get wonderful healing, and it mostly can come from art. So just open your doors to us. I thought I was the weakest person on this planet. I was so scared. I woke up in the morning every day as a child, terrified of the day. And I get to sleep through the night now, which I never knew I could do. I don't think about those things anymore. But I never thought, all these years up until 55, or actually more, because it took 7 years for me to get here through finding our voices, but I don't care. I will go forever with them to keep learning, to keep getting better, to keep growing, to keep fighting, to keep my soul with me, and be happy and show how wonderful and powerful that I am. So I really want sexual assault survivors, no matter who they are, men, women, we do 18 and older because legally, we can't do under that. But gosh, if we could, that would be amazing to help children, because God, if anybody helped me when I was little, things might have been different for me. First of all, when you go, it's every age is from 18 on up. I mean, you meet amazing women. I have tried a few times with a few people for years to try and get them in, and now they're finally coming and they love it. They love it, but it took them a while, and I get that. Our fear stops us from doing things. And because of that, it just intensifies everything inside our soul, deep inside our soul. If we can just let go of that fear and give it a try, just give it a try. No one says you have to stay, because our door is always open on the workshops. We take in as many people as we can. There's no limit. On these workshops, it's a 15-person limit. But on the other ones, and it gets you in the door so you can see what exactly we do, how the art exactly makes you feel. And all the girls talk about it at the end of the art workshop, their story of why they did this. And when you hear them, you feel like you're a part. It makes it, all of a sudden you feel like, God, this could be a great sisterhood to be with. I just want to be around these people because they might get me. It's just amazing. And then the art, the transformation it does as you do it month from month, you get more open. Like in the very beginning, I wouldn't talk at all. I wouldn't show my artwork. I was like, oh no, this looks terrible. Look at the way these people are doing this artwork. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. But you don't have to be an artist to do this kind of stuff. You just have to be doing it. Just do it and let your mind and your body and your soul feel it and let it go out on that paper. You would realize how freeing it is. You will change. It'll be so transforming. It just is. I am a good example of it. I started out crying constantly. I couldn't speak about anything. I couldn't speak about my assaults. I couldn't speak at all. I just was quiet. Now you can't get me to stop talking. Talk all the time. I talk about my assaults. I'm not embarrassed or ashamed anymore. I let that go, thank God, through healing with art. Dance, any of that. We do all of that in our little events that we do. It all feels so good. Yoga, any kind of movement, any kind of art expression. If you just do it, you'd be surprised at how different your soul starts feeling and how wonderful that transformation is. I am now not that weakling little girl I used to be. I am now a strong, powerful woman. And that's what we want to do for these women. Give them their power back.